What's going on, everybody? It's your buddy, it's your pal Spaz Phoenix, the YWC Reality Check, and welcome to Road Signs. As you may or may not have noticed, and you may or may not have cared, there wasn't a Raw review this week. I was busy a couple days ago, etc., but I figured I gotta spit out something. I'll let you know where my mind sits on a couple of things leading into Chamber, and thus leading into the WrestleMania. I'm not gonna talk a lot about the whole Daniel Bryan's being screwed shit. You know, you want to see that, go check out Preston's videos, go check out the Lexman's videos, go and check out, actually, if any of you are on iTunes, go check out the Cool Dudes podcast, which is two guys from Toronto, Norm Souza and what the hell's the other guy's name now? Arky Zuber, who are stand-up comedians from Toronto who also do a lot of commentary on wrestling. It's a great little podcast. It's very tongue-in-cheek. It's very laid back and hey, this is fucking dumb type wrestling analysis, but it is a lot of fun, and they do a bunch of other stuff as well. My point being, there's everybody and their mother going to talk about how Daniel Bryan's getting screwed. I don't agree, first of all, and second of all, I'm not going to waste my breath on it, because there's a lot of positive things happening in the WWE, even if the marks don't want to realize it. Let's talk about Elimination Chamber. Let's talk about the Elimination Chamber match. Don't know if I mentioned this before. The Elimination Chamber match is coming together about as well as I thought it would. There's, you know, two guys that I want to win, two guys that I wish weren't there, and two guys that are filler. Daniel Bryan, Randy Orton belong there. Cena and Sheamus are there because they're Cena and Sheamus. And there's Christian and Antonio Cesaro, who, with all due respect, I like both guys, but are filler in the sense that we know they're not going to win. Antonio Cesaro, as much as this is going to break hearts, is not going to main event WrestleMania 30, is he? Is he? Against Batista? Really, is he? No. So it's coming together about as well as it can, and about as well as WWE usually does. The way they're building to it, I really, really like. The screwjob way that Sheamus and Cena got in there is kind of representative of who they are, because they don't really, you know, deserve to be there. I like that they're giving Antonio Cesaro and Christian a shot in there. Christian, you know, for that one more match idea, and Antonio Cesaro is getting his first real shot to show that he belongs with the big guys, and I'm interested to see what he pulls off in an environment like the Elimination Chamber, so we'll say that. Randy Orton's always pissed off. Randy Orton's pissed off that he has to defend his title. Randy Orton's pissed off that he had to defend his title against Cena twice. He's pissed off that he has to defend it against 5 guys at the Elimination Chamber before going on to what he believes his rightful place is at WrestleMania. But the way they're doing it, the way they're making him face all 5 other guys on the way to WrestleMania, I mean, he beat Daniel Bryan on Raw. Or sorry, Daniel Bryan beat him on Raw. There's going to be SmackDown spoilers in this video, I should say, right off the bat. So if you don't like SmackDown spoilers, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you've been warned. Bryan beat him on Raw. He beat Christian this Friday on SmackDown, and it's already been announced that he's going to face Cena next week on Raw. Now, my good friend Lexman recently did a video, actually I think it was uploaded today, suggesting that if we were ever going to boycott a Raw to make a point, we should do it this week, because Orton and Cena, again, oh my god, we're seeing the same match again. Have a lot of respect for Lexman, but I disagree with him on this particular point, because normally I would say, okay, Cena and Orton, again, they're overkilling it, whatever, but in this string of, you know, this is Randy Orton's story towards the Elimination Chamber, he has to face all of his opponents before he faces them all together in the Chamber structure. It does make sense. I'm surprised that of the 5 guys that he's going to face at the Elimination Chamber, that they got Daniel Bryan and John Cena out of the way, pretty much right out of the box. I would have saved them for last. But, you know, I would have thought that he would either destroy everybody or everybody would destroy him. The story going forward, or the psychology going forward, can go one of 2 ways. You can go the direction of, okay, Randy Orton gets a chance to destroy each of his opponents individually, so none of them are okay for the Chamber match. Or you can look at it from the other perspective, that all the challengers are going to get their licks in on the champion before Elimination Chamber. As I said, gives everybody a chance to shine. Antonio Cesaro, I'm looking for Antonio Cesaro, as I said, to have some great moments in the Chamber. I'm going to compare him to guys like John Morrison. Some people might say Kofi Kingston. that we know aren't going to win but might steal the shows. Dolph Ziggler is a prime example of somebody who bumps his ass off in the chamber, but we didn't really think he was going to win, did we? Antonio Cesaro is filling that slot this year, and I think it's a really, really good thing. And I think, for what it's worth, even though I don't like, you know, a third of the guys that are in the match, I think it's going to be a really good match, and I think it's going to be... WWE obviously is going to put a lot of effort into Elimination Chamber because the network starts the next day. So all the fallout from Elimination Chamber is going to be felt on the WWE network, is it not? Anyways, moving on. The biggest thing happening in the WWE right now, sorry Daniel Bryan fans once again, is the Sheild and Wyatt story. For two reasons. A, we've all wanted it since these two factions came in. Sorry guys, my nose is itchy as hell, and I don't know why. It always happens. It seems to happen recently when I'm doing vids, but whatever. Sheild and Wyatts is something we all wanted. Sheild and Wyatts was something we all thought we weren't going to get because they were both heel teams and it wouldn't make sense. And it's also great because the way they've done it is so simple. Simple booking works. The Wyatts screwed over the Sheild on Raw. On SmackDown, the Sheild called the Wyatts out. On Raw, the Sheild beat a thrown-together team of Rey Mysterio, Kofi Kingston, and Big E Langston, which, you know, on its face doesn't sound like much, but you got Rey Mysterio, who's a multiple-time world champion, multiple-time mid-card champion, tag champion, whatever. You got Kofi Kingston, who's basically the king of mid-card championships, because he ain't going any higher, guys. Sorry. And you got Big E Langston, who's one of the next big things out of NXT, and currently is having a great Intercontinental title run. Simultaneously with this rivalry with the Wyatts, we're also telling the story of the dissolution of the Sheild, are we not? Because Roman Reigns did a lot of the work towards the end of this match, and Dean Ambrose was the one that was able to get the win, and Seth Rollins is establishing himself as sort of the peacemaker in that group. On the other side of the coin, you've got the Wyatts, who beat Truth, Woods, and Ziggler with no problem whatsoever, because they, unlike the Sheild, are getting more and more solidified as the Sheild breaks apart, and that story is going to play out at the Elimination Chamber, is it not? Both teams, without making any physical contact, I like that, don't have any physical contact between these two teams until their match. Each team cut a promo on the other after their other's respective match. Both guys, mostly Dean Ambrose and Bray Wyatt, and that really doesn't surprise anybody, but everybody's sort of getting their bits in. I mean, Dean Ambrose cuts a promo, Roman Reigns comes in and he's intimidating, Seth Rollins comes in with his 2 cents. You know, Bray Wyatt says something, Luke Harper's broken his silence and sort of adds to the promo, and Eric Rowan with the 1 or 2 word soundbites telling people to run through his mask, and it sounds muffled and scary and whatnot. I like that they're bringing all 6 guys into the promo work. It sets an atmosphere, especially with two psychotic teams like the Wyatts and the Sheild. You need all of them to have a voice, and the Wyatts were lacking that, and WWE is fixing that, and I like it. Flip over to SmackDown, once again, spoiler alert, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go. Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose defeated Kofi Kingston and Ziggler. I think it's cool because we're playing up this story, this friction between Roman Reigns and Dean Ambrose, even though they still got the win. With Seth Rollins being on commentary, Kofi Kingston can go fly a kite, and Ziggler, I'm sure, looks boss. I can't wait to actually see the match on Friday. So once again, we are establishing that the Sheild is dominant while establishing that they're also falling apart at the seams. And Seth Rollins, once again, is in that peacemaker role. Apparently, he was the one that got the biggest cheer of the night because he was the hometown guy wherever they are this week for SmackDown. I don't know, but it's also cool to see. It'll be cool to see if, while Roman and Ambrose are battling each other in a battle of the egos, how they react to Rollins getting the biggest pop out of the 3. Could we see a third dynamic? Could it turn into a triple threat match? Could we lead into WrestleMania and have a triple threat match? Moving on, Bray Wyatt defeated Goldust, which is meh, I guess. I'm sure Goldust did the best he could to make Bray Wyatt look good. Luke Harper, Eric Rowan, and Cody Rhodes are all at ringside, and obviously the Sheild cuts a promo on the Wyatts afterwards. We have a very simple story going on here, guys. These 6 guys are going to have an amazing match. The Wyatts are going to win, look strong. Bray Wyatt's going to go face John Cena at WrestleMania. The Sheild are going to go in strong, fall apart at the seams, implode on themselves, and fight each other at WrestleMania. Both are amazing stories, and both are things I can't wait to see come to fruition at WrestleMania. And as I said, it's simple, you screwed me over, I challenge you, tit for tat, tit for tat, tit for tat, mind games, match. You can't have simpler booking than that, and it works. WWE knows that this is a match we want to see. They don't have to work too hard at it, and they just have to give us what we want. And they are giving us what they want. In this sense, all the Bryan fans and all the CM Punk fans, I'll get to that in a second, who accuse WWE of never giving us what we want. How long have we cried and screamed and begged for Wyatts versus the Sheild? They teased it like 2 months ago on Raw, and they went face-to-face. They went face-to-face in the Rumble for a bit, and we've been asking for it, and now we're getting it. So, I don't know. I think it's fantastic. I think this should be the main event of the Elimination Chamber, if you want me to be completely honest with you. It's not going to happen, obviously, because all the favorites are in the chamber, and yeah. I would have loved it. Anybody that's ever played any of the WWE 2K or WWE 12 or WWE 13 or SmackDown vs. Raw games knows that if you choose to go into the Elimination Chamber in the game, you have the option of a 3-on-3 tag chamber where members of various teams come in and face each other. It's kind of similar to War Games in a sense, but it's never a way that they've used the Elimination Chamber in real life, and I've never understood why. This match, the only thing this match is lacking, simply because it's happening at the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view, is that it's not happening in the Elimination Chamber. And do not tell me that, oh my god, we can't have more than one in the same match at a pay-per-view. Because Elimination Chamber, until this year when they finally unified the belts, always had 2 Elimination Chamber matches. Oh yes, the only thing that would make this better if it would be if it was there, or if they did it in Hell in a Cell down the line, or what have you. This is going to be a great match. This is going to steal the show at Elimination Chamber, whether it's the main event or not. Going to touch on the Punk thing for a second, and a lot of people reacted honestly. First of all, CM Punk's gone, it sucks. And then you got people standing up on their moral high horse. They're like, oh, well, you know, CM Punk shouldn't have done that. You know, it's not the proper thing. It's not, you know, what adults do. It's not what we do in a civilized society. We honor our contracts. Da, da, da. Nobody is a bigger example of somebody getting up on their pulpit than Mark Pearson. And I'm not going to waste too much time on Mark Pearson, because Mark Pearson has spent the better part of a year begging me to do another video on him, and I'm not giving him that satisfaction. But he made a point. Somebody sent me a video, and just, Spaz, you want a good laugh, go to this video at this point in the video. And he's shitting on fans, like he usually does. He's shitting on the YWC, the IWC, the wrestling fan community, as he usually does, for cheering for CM Punk. And his mentality behind it was something to the effect of, well, why are these idiots chanting for CM Punk? It's not like he's there. Let me explain something very simply to you. People cheered for Edge after he had to retire. People cheered for Jeff Hardy after he quit. People will cheer CM Punk after he quit. Do you know why? 2 reasons. Number 1 is because that's their guy. If you're there and you're cheering for CM Punk, whether he's there or not, that's your guy you're going to cheer for him. And you've got the God-given right to do that. So first of all, Mark Pearson, go fuck himself. Second of all, it's a message. It's the only message we can give to WWE now that they're confiscating our signs. But it's a message to the WWE, to them, in the aftermath, to say, hey, CM Punk was who we were coming to see. WWE, you fucked up. Whatever the reason was. And the speculation is rampant one way or the other. One speculation is that he was tired and they weren't allowing him to take breaks like some of the other superstars. One was that he was legitimately injured and not getting the chance to attend to those injuries properly. And one was that he was strictly pissed off for being booked, doing absolutely nothing for the past 6 months, and only being brought up to relevance again so that he could job to Triple H at WrestleMania. Well, fuck that. I'd be pissed off too. But whatever the reason for CM Punk leaving, and whatever you choose to think about CM Punk leaving, oh, it's not the right thing to do, and I have a bit of authority about wrestling because I seem to think that I know what I'm talking about. Whatever you think about CM Punk leaving, fuck you for commenting and criticizing the fans for who they cheer for and what they cheer at an event. It's called freedom of speech. You said we enjoy it over here in North America. We damn sure do, and ain't much you can do about it. And it doesn't make us idiots. It makes us people with an opinion that aren't going to follow yours. So Mark can suck it. Not wasting any time on him. I have a prediction for WrestleMania, and my prediction is bold, and my prediction is very, very simple. The Usos are going to walk out of WrestleMania as the tag team champions. I don't even know if there's going to be a tag team championship match at the Elimination Chamber at this point. Guys, I don't really care. The Usos are going to walk out of WrestleMania as the tag team champions. Why? Because they're going to be the... If WWE keeps going the way they're going, they're going to be the only ones left. let's think about this for a second. The Wyatts, the Wyatt family, Luke Harper and Eric Rowan, are involved in a six-man match at Chamber. And I'm pretty sure once they start building the Wyatt-Cena feud, the Wyatts are going to be otherwise occupied helping with that. Primetime Players just split, and that's going to go nowhere real fast, but it is what it is. They're building towards a split between the Real Americans. They're building this thought or this idea that Jack Swagger is the weak link in the group. He's the one that Zeb Coulter's not too happy about, and Antonio Cesaro is the one getting the wins, getting into the Elimination Chamber, getting the praise. He's the teacher's pet of the Real Americans, for lack of a better term. Rhodes Brothers, they haven't done it yet, but they've lost the Tag Team Championships, and they've come across hardships ever since. They haven't really won anything. They got their asses handed to them by Brock Lesnar. They're going to split before WrestleMania because people want to see the Rhodes Brothers face each other at WrestleMania, and it simply is what it is. The Sheild, as we've spoken about, are kind of bigger than the Tag Team Championships at this point, and they're about to split up and face each other at WrestleMania as well. We've got thrown together teams like Mark Henry and Big E Langston. Mark Henry's just coming back from an injury. Big E Langston should be focusing on the Intercontinental Championship. The team of Rey Mysterio and Sin Cara has Rey Mysterio on it. Need I say more? 3MB and Los Matadors, while they are fun and entertaining and talented guys in the ring, let's face it, they're both comedy jobber tag teams, and I wouldn't be surprised if they were facing each other at WrestleMania. So really, you're only left with the Usos, and you know what? It's sad that they finally get what they deserve because they're the only ones left, but I will be glad when I see the belts wrapped around those guys' waists. When they come out with the Tag Team Championships and then they do the Simatau on the entrance ramp, it's going to be a cool visual, if nothing else, is it not? Let's talk about the Divas division for 1 second, and then I'm going to get out of all your guys' hair. I like Divas wrestling. I like the Knockouts in TNA, I like the Divas in WWE, even when they're not doing the greatest. I mean, I don't like the Funkadactyls, but I will admit Naomi's getting better. I don't like the Bellas, but I will admit Brie Bella is getting better. When Caitlyn was there, she had a trajectory of improvement that was off the charts. Layla was awesome when she was there. Natalya is what she is, but she's babysitting the Total Divas, which is, you know, just sad. We've lost greats like Beth Phoenix and Trish Stratus and Lita over the years. And you guys know, right now, WWE, I hang my hat on AJ Lee. In NXT, obviously, I hang my hat on Paige. And so does the WWE. Look where the belts are. So the one thing we need to really infuse some interest into the Divas division is to finally bring up somebody new from NXT. Should it not be Paige? Should we not have a title versus title women's match at WrestleMania and not have it be, you know, a billion-person tag or a mixed tag or a, you know, lingerie pillow fight bit of bullshit? Have two legitimate women's champions going at it at WrestleMania with AJ and Paige, and you've got a money match right there. For as much as you can have a money match in the women's division, no offense to any of the women out there, for as much of a money match as you can have in the Divas division, there's your match. Champion versus champion. NXT versus WWE. Paige versus AJ. Crazy versus crazy. Book it however you want. They bring up Emma. And let me be clear, I have absolutely nothing against Emma as a talent in the ring, but as a character, she's friggin' awkward. She's getting by on the fact that she's adorable, and her gimmick is that she's awkward, and add to the fact that it's just one more blonde-haired Barbie doll to add to the mix. I'm a little downhearted in that one, if that's even a word, but disheartened, I guess, is the word I was actually looking for there, if I can speak proper English. I don't mind Emma coming up to the roster. I don't mind that she's going to go have a rivalry with Summer Rae. It looks like it's going to be good. We've seen them go at it on NXT. I was happy when Summer Rae came up and joined Fandango because I figured, okay, A, she's going to help his gimmick. B, she's not a bad talent, which is fine. Emma, again, is a great talent. Her gimmick is super awkward, and if Emma goes for the Divas Championship before Paige gets a chance to, that will not make sense. Please bring Paige up. Even if it's just for one night. Like, we had Rusev come up just for the Royal Rumble. We had Bo Dallas come up just for the Rumble last year. We had Big E Langston, who was basically the quote-unquote NXT guy at WrestleMania last year in his role as Dolph Ziggler's tag team partner. You could have a one-night-only, as I said, NXT versus WWE at WrestleMania between Paige and AJ, and Paige could still go back to NXT and be their legit women's champion. WrestleMania for years had Raw versus SmackDown interpromotional for lack of a better term, matches. You know, the one I can think of off the top of my head is Batista versus Umaga, not because it was a great match, just because Teddy Long as a ring announcer is well, it's horrible, let's be honest. Bottom line, if you're going to bring up somebody from NXT, it should have been Paige. Have her hand off the belt to Emma, and Emma can, you know, oddly dance in NXT for a little bit longer while Paige comes up and is fucking awesome and does great shit with AJ Lee. Just, like I said, guys, this is not any kind of Raw review. This is not any kind of, oh my god, I'm making grand predictions. This is just, you know, my thoughts on where we are. I didn't do a Raw review this week for reasons already explained. Buddy James, I gotta send a shout out to him as usual. For the past 3 days, he's come up to me. I know this annoys some YouTubers, but for me, it's just, you know what, that's really fucking awesome. If I don't put up a Raw review Monday night and somebody comes up to me Tuesday morning and be like, hey man, where's your Raw review? Hey man, like, are we getting a Raw review this week? There's assholes out there, Mark, that call that annoying. I call that people that take the time out of their day to listen to my friggin' 2 cents here on my little camera and take it with them when they leave. And I think that's fucking fantastic. So James, shout out to you, buddy. You guys are great. Join the wrestling realm. The link is in the box below. We just, in less than a month, cracked, I think, 135 people, which is fantastic. I'm creeping up on 500 on this channel, which is also friggin' amazing. Thanks you to all of you guys that have been following me the past 4 years or so. If we can hit 200 in the wrestling realm and 500 on this channel by WrestleMania, I am open to suggestions as to what you want me to do on this channel to celebrate both of those landmarks. And with that, I think I'm done. I've been Spaz, your YWC Reality Check. Subscribe up there, talk down there, start a conversation, keep all my conversations going. How are you guys doing on the road to WrestleMania? Let me know down in the box below. Don't be a stranger. I'll talk to each and every last one of you later, but for right now, I'm tagging out. Bye, guys.